Scourge are a potentially very powerful unit, but the Zerg Scourge is also potentially very ineffective. They're a unit which really rewards micromanagement. The way Scourge work is that you command them to attack an enemy unit, they fly towards that enemy flying unit, they explode, and they do 110 damage to that unit. Now, a Protoss Corsair has 100 health and 80 shields, but a Scourge does 110 damage, so 2 Scourge do enough damage to kill a Corsair that's on full health. However, Scourge are not very intelligent. If the Scourge are not controlled well, they'll perform very poorly. So I'm going to right-click the Scourge on this Corsair. I just established that we only need 2 Scourge to kill 1 Corsair, but we lost 6 Scourge. The Scourge AI is not intelligent enough to figure out how many Scourge are needed to kill a target and have the other Scourge not detonate on it. So Scourge can detonate on a target that has already received enough damage that it's going to die. We only needed 2 Scourge to kill that Corsair, but we lost 6. It cost us 3 times the resources it needed to cost us. And because Scourge necessarily die in the process of doing their attack, whenever they try to attack something, they force you even more than normal to think about how many resources are you spending and how many enemy resources are you destroying. Scourge costs 25 minerals and 75 gas for a pair of them, so they are pretty cheap. Like, a pair of Scourge kills a Corsair, and it costs a lot less than a Corsair does to make. But that cheapness is balanced by how bad the Scourge AI is. We really have to control them to get good value out of them. So whereas I instructed 12 Scourge to collapse on 1 Corsair and I lost 6 of them, if I only grab 2 Scourge and tell them to attack this 1 Corsair here, well, they will kill that 1 Corsair, and I still have my other 10 Scourge. That's far more efficient for me. In a similar fashion, Scourge are not good at making sure... you will lose extra Scourge in killing 1 unit if you target them all on 1 unit. Scourge also are not good at splitting themselves up between many different targets that you might want Scourge to collide with. I have here 24 Scourge. There are only 8 Corsairs over here. 8 Corsairs requires 16 Scourge. I have more than the number of Scourge I need to kill these Corsairs. But I am going to A-move my Scourge at these Corsairs. And I killed, what was that? 3. 3 of 8 Corsairs with 24 Scourge. 8 Scourge per Corsair. Far, far more than I needed to lose. Part of the problem is that the Corsairs were killing Scourge on the way in, as the Scourge came in to attack. But part of the problem is that a lot of Scourge collapsed on a small number of Corsairs. There was a big cluster of Scourge that hit 1 Corsair about here. The Scourge did not distribute themselves between the many different targets that they could have been attacking. So we have to control our Scourge to do that sort of thing manually if we want them to perform well. I have another 12 Scourge here, and I have 6 Corsairs here, and I'm going to use these Scourge to attack these Corsairs. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of these control groups, and I am going to right-click the entire group on one of those Corsairs, and then hold Shift, left-click, remove 2 Scourge from my control group, right-click the Scourge on another Corsair, hold Shift, left-click, right-click on another Corsair, hold Shift, left-click, and the effect of that is, initially I'm commanding my entire group of Scourge to hit 1 Corsair, then I'm excluding 2 Scourge from the command to hit the next Corsair, then excluding 4 total Scourge from the command to hit the next Corsair. I'm distributing these 12 Scourge among 6 different Corsairs. But I have to do this very quickly. So it's going to look like this. Right-click, 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 right-click. Something like that. And you can see my Scourge are getting sort of split up into groups of 2, which is what we need to destroy these Corsairs. But behind that first group of Scourge, I'm also going to have a second group of Scourge, and this group I am just going to A-move at the Corsairs, because Some of this first control group of Corsairs this first control group of Scourge are probably going to get destroyed by the Corsairs as they attack. And I want to make sure there's enough spare Scourge behind them that I do end up winning the fight. So let's try to do this. Notice I need to position these units some distance away from the Corsairs so I've got time to do that right-click, shift, left, left, right-click, shift, left, left, right-click, shift, left, left, as the Scourge are flying towards the Corsairs. So... and I did mess that up there. But in the end, 2 of our 24 Scourge survive. Now, that's not ideal. Ideally, we would kill every Scourge with a pair... Ideally, we would kill every one of the 6 Corsairs with a pair of Scourge, and it would only take 12 total Scourge to kill 6 Corsairs. If we had accomplished that, then we would have 6 Corsairs, which is 150 minerals and 100 gas per Corsair, so 600 gas, 900 minerals for 6 Corsairs, but 12 Scourge is 300 minerals and 900 gas, I think? Yes, that's correct. 300 minerals, 900 gas. No, that's not correct, because it's 25 minerals for a pair of Scourge, so 4 Scourge is 50, and 12 Scourge is 150. So 150 minerals and 450 gas for 12 Scourge. So if this had gone ideally, we would have destroyed 900 minerals, 600 gas of the enemy's forces in exchange for 150 minerals, 450 gas of ours. We didn't get that. We had to use 12... we had to use 24 Scourge, not 12. And so that ended up costing us 300 minerals, 900 gas of Scourge, but that's still less resources than the enemy lost with their 6 Corsairs. And you have to remember that when there's 6 Corsairs in a group, some of your Scourge are going to die before they collide with the Corsair because the Scourge do good damage, because Corsairs do pretty good damage against Scourge. So you need to manually group your Scourge, distribute your Scourge between the different targets you want them to hit, because they're not going to do it efficiently themselves. So now let's consider fighting a battlecruiser with Scourge. A battlecruiser has 500 health, a Scourge does 110 damage. We are going to need at least 5 Scourge to kill a battlecruiser. 5 Scourge have to hit the battlecruiser for it to die. But a battlecruiser does 25 damage per hit with its main weapon, and Scourge only have 25 health. So 1 Scourge is going to die on the way in to attack the battlecruiser. Which means we need to take 6 Scourge to kill this battlecruiser, because one of them is going to die as the Scourge approach the BC, and then 5 of them need to collide with it to actually kill it. So right-click on the battlecruiser, and these 6 Scourge will attack it, and it... oh! So the Scourge messed up their pathing a little bit there, and the battlecruiser actually managed to get a second shot off on a Scourge before all of the Scourge had collided. So it got to shoot 2 Scourge, and it survived. So we're going to need to send some more Scourge to kill it. We'll need at least 2 Scourge again, because one of them is going to die on the way in. So you need to account for... and the battlecruiser killed both Scourge again. So I'm going to send 3 Scourge this time, just to make sure the battlecruiser definitely can't survive this. There we go. So you need to account for what if the enemy can kill some of my Scourge as the Scourge are flying in. Over here we have 3 battlecruisers, and we have quite a lot of Scourge, but we can't just A-move the Scourge because, again, we're going to lose extra Scourge that we don't want to be losing if we just A-move them at the battlecruisers. The Scourge will not distribute themselves reasonably. Now, I could do the same thing I did with the 6 Corsairs over here. I could grab a group of Scourge, I could right-click on a battlecruiser, and then I could hold Shift, and I could try to remove 6 Scourge from the group, and then right-click the remainder of the Scourge on a different battlecruiser. But I'm definitely going to need more than 1 whole control group of Scourge to kill 3 battlecruisers if it'll take at least 6 Scourge per battlecruiser. And in fact, what if all 3 battlecruisers kill Scourge from one of my groups? so that I distribute 6 Scourge to this battlecruiser, 6 Scourge to this one, and 6 Scourge to this one, and 6 Scourge hit this BC, and 6 Scourge hit this BC, but only 3 of them hit this BC, because these guys both fired at the Scourge that were targeting this battlecruiser at the top. So, I am, instead of having a control group and trying to use Shift to remove Scourge from it, because I need quite a lot of Scourge targeted on each battlecruiser, I'm going to make 3 different control groups. First control group will have 8 Scourge in it, so this is control group 1 with 8 Scourge. Second control group will also have 8 Scourge. This is control group 2. And the third control group will have another 8 Scourge. 8 is more than I need to kill a battlecruiser if things go as efficiently as possible, but I want to make absolutely sure that there will be enough Scourge in each group that the battlecruisers will not destroy, that each group is going to kill the battlecruiser it's targeted on. So 1, 2, 3. And now I'm just going to go 1 click, 2 click, 3 click, and they're all going to fly in and target their battlecruisers down. And all the battlecruisers did in fact die. So, Scourge are potentially very strong, potentially very valuable. They can get you incredibly efficient trades, but they require good micromanagement. You need to think about the targets you are sending them to attack, and you need to put a lot of work into controlling your Scourge to distribute them correctly between all the targets that they could be hitting.